write like a man. Use a typewriter.
I have a question for you. I remember seeing an Instagram post where your daughter is playing on one of your typewriters.
Oh, cute.
Yes, that was
And,
2014.
and she's, I think in your book, I think you
What's
said,
the new one? I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. She was doing it later. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish it.
so she's roughly, my daughter's 9, and I think she's roughly the same age. Your daughter's
Well,
roughly.
11. Yeah, she's 11
She's
now.
11 now.
At
Okay,
the time
she's
the
11.
book was published, she was not. Well, it was started, but it took. You know how traditional publishing can go 2 years before you even see it. Yeah.
And that's average from what I understand. Yeah.
So does your it's just kind of a twofold question. Does your daughter like typewriters?
I asked her that question, and she gave me these exact words today because I was like, well, what always says this? She said, "You're obsessed with typewriters, but I think they're cool. They're cool. Yeah, you're obsessed with, but they're cool. You know?
You're like up here, Mom, and I'm like down here. You know?
That's
You're
really
like
cool.
level 20, and I'm like level 5. So you know.
So if
she does binary codes on them, and she also does
that's cool.
Really?
her notes. She'll type her notes on the tutor, that Sears tutor I told you about. That's the only typewriter I probably let her play with. Yeah.
That's awesome. So let's say one of her friends came over.
Mm-hmm.
And new friend, and she walks into the room where all your typewriters, you have 40 typewriters there, and she's like, "Why do you have all these typewriters?" What would you tell her friend that makes typewriters? Like you could tell her friend one thing about the typewriter and why it's cool and special, and why she should think about being interested in one. What would you tell her?
That's so easy because if it wasn't for the typewriter, you wouldn't have your QWERTY keyboard for your cell phone and your little pads and your little, you wouldn't have all that. You wouldn't have any of that. The typewriter started that. And please think about things that have lasted as long as a typewriter does. I mean, a typewriter will outlive. I mean,
every laptop.
Morbid, but you have to stop. Yeah, it will. Yeah, it'll outlive my cameras, everything. Not my film cameras. I don't know about that. But
well, this one right here, this little Corona 3,
mm-hmm.
It's over 100 years old. I found it in an antique store about 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And it worked when I found it. It still works. I had to reattach the carriage string. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
And it still functions.
I got a 24 one, though, 1924, and I had to do the carriage string. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the only thing. I didn't have to replace the carriage string. I just had to reattach it. I
had to replace it. Yeah.
They're so durable.
I can't. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. What a find!
For it to be a folding typewriter, that's amazing.
What's that?
For it to be a folding typewriter, that's amazing that they still.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They were slamming them. They had to be. The reporters out there. Boom. I know they were slamming them. I know.
Yep.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Mad at their.
And it's funny because in the antique shop where I found this when I took it to the front desk, I did this.
Yes.
And I asked if it doesn't have the plate that covers this,
yeah.
And so when I brought it to the front desk and I said, "Do you have the plate that covers this?" And when I opened it up, they went, "I didn't know it. I didn't know
it's like a transformer." What is this Megatron you brought to us?
Like, you guys have no idea what you have no idea what you have in your store and how special this is. I will give you a whopping $25 for this machine. Like. You tell me maybe even 30 out the door.
Yeah, I had
shekels over here.
Yeah, mine came with the book. It came with the case. It came with all that stuff. So they have $50 for mine. But yeah, you got them. You got them.
Yeah, I did.
Well, I didn't end up paying that. They saw the greedy twinkle in my eye, and we settled it around $80. And I was like, "I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah, I would
cash. Let's go."
And it works.
Yeah.
You rarely, if you can get a typewriter up and running, it's almost always worth the money.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all had that experience. Like I have a Remington World War II field desk typewriter that's
so cool.
It's cool, but like it's not worth really repairing. I mean, I paid a whopping $60 for it. Like whatever.
That's cool,
you know what I mean?
Man.
But so we all like have that. I think Nick's got at least one or two that were kind of duds. I know I think your first couple were duds as well, Natasha. And it's like everybody kind of has those stories. It's almost like being a gun owner, and it's like you have at least one gun you regret selling or trading off. And it's the same thing. But But for the most part, like you always want to encourage people, or don't let people get discouraged about getting into the typewriter game, because it's like, dude, for the amount of money you'll spend, like you're gonna have an awesome, unique experience.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like it.
And I let my kids play on them. They actually
kids love them.
He got them he found a Royal Quad Deluxe for them and gave it to them for Christmas.
Yeah, for
and
$60.
Yeah, and we homeschool too. So when they want to write something or type something, I'm like, do it on your typewriter. You don't have to handwrite any book reports. Just type it. You have a typewriter, go for it. They love it. And now they're learning Morse code. They're learning Morse code, and they're doing Morse code on the typewriter, and it sounds so cool.
Just like the KGB.
It's so fun. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm training. I'm building up little spies right now. It's fun. It's really fun.